to meet you. I just want to tell you that I'm not a professional speaker. I'm just going to talk from my heart, from my experiences. My name is Mariana Konsolos, better known now after 10 years in business as the first lady with the accent. Not really sure why the accent. I came to Canada. My story is kind of a love story. I was a pioneer internet date. I met my husband online. I was in Uruguay, South America, running a successful real estate company. And health issues stopped me from continuing. And I decided that in my free time on my year off, I will learn how to use computers. So as soon as I turned on my computer, after a couple of months, I got this, I don't know if you remember the ICQ, that it was kind of a woohoo. And I got this message from this guy saying that he wants to travel to South America. So he needs some tips. So we started to talk. He got the tips. And 5 months later, I ended up coming to Canada to meet my husband for 14 years. It was quite a challenge. Everything was pink and beautiful until I decided to move to Canada. So once you decide to leave everything behind, you don't know what everything means. Because everything means the regular things like to go to the supermarket and know where to go. It's like if your daughter gets hurt, where to go in the hospital. For me, walking into a hospital and don't know what the triage means and what's the procedure and what do you need to do. Those were the challenges. It was really hard. Not to talk about the weather, that I never saw snow in my life. And, try to learn how to drive in snow and all that. And of course, being an entrepreneur in South America for 13 years, having my own company, and coming here and becoming no one, because you are absolutely no one. And trying to find a job, and people say, oh, you don't have Canadian experience, oh, you don't know the language as well, oh, you don't understand, oh, you don't. So it was hard to accept my new me. And I'm not the type of complainer, so I said, okay, so what can I do now? So my first job, from being in South America, a successful businesswoman, living across the street of the beach, having 2 nannies full-time, I became a nanny. I became a nanny, not only a nanny, because not everybody wanted to hire me either, because I didn't speak English as well. So I became a nanny of triplets, newborn triplets, and I was working from midnight to 6 in the morning. So really was a job that very few people wanted to take. But I took it. It was an amazing experience. It was a great challenge for me. I learned so many things. It gave me time to get into society, to learn how to go to the supermarket, to learn all those little things that you take for granted every day when you come from another place. And everything was solved. In Uruguay, I had secretaries who will do and go and run my things. Here I needed to do everything. I needed to clean. Imagine, I was washing the dishes. And my daughter looked at me and she started to cry. I said, what's wrong with you? She said, are we poor, Mom? So I said, you know what? We are richer than ever. We are learning again who we are with nothing. We started really from scratch again. So that was a great experience. I spent that time with the babies. They are family to me. They moved to Toronto now. Every time that I go to South America, I stop in Toronto to visit them. It's really, really family. And you never know who you work when you're new. So I didn't know that this family was sponsored by the owners of the West Edmonton Mall. So the next thing is that anything I needed, they knew me because I would spend time with them. And they wanted to hire me because now they can trust on me, they knew who I was, they knew where I come from. So they started to offer me jobs. Can you drive my kids here? Can you do that? So they started to recommend me. So suddenly I get phone calls. I had twins, I had triplets, I had this. I could have started a business on that. But that wasn't my passion. My passion is people. So I decided that now that they were moving to Toronto, now I needed to find a job that I would start to build myself again to who I was. So I was going around in retail. I love interior design because that's what was part of my background in South America. So I almost begged the ladies at Pier 1 Imports to hire me. And they were so kind that they hired me at $5.25 an hour. And I was so excited, you couldn't believe it. They treat me really poor because they couldn't even understand that I couldn't understand their language, you know? They were talking about oxblood red, the mental of the, for me those were words that I never used in my life, you know? I didn't know what they meant. I didn't know what was a flute glass. For me, glasses were glasses. That's what they teach you when you learn English in South America. So it was a whole experience. It was super hard. I came many times crying. I was blessed to go to an English course. I don't know if you know, it's called Link. I attended at Northwest, and I was blessed with an English teacher. And she was my mentor. She was really my mentor. So I would come from work and crying and phone Elaine and say, Elaine, I'm going to quit. This is horrible. This is... And she would say, what happened today? You know, I answered the phone, and the lady on the other side, she couldn't understand me, and she was screaming at me. She asked with the manager, and she complained about me. And you know how frustrating can it be when your phone on the other side doesn't understand a word what you're trying to say. So she said to me, that's awesome. I'm like, how do you see this awesome? I see this horrible. She said, this is what you need to do now. From now on, every time that phone rings, you run to that phone, answer that phone, because you cannot become an entrepreneur in Canada if you cannot answer your phone. She said, that is exactly what it means to get out of your comfort zone. That's where you're not comfortable, that's what you need to learn. So from that day, I understood that every time that was uncomfortable, I really needed to work on that. Because that would be the only way to really, really become again the person that I was in South America. So when I was at Pier 1, I got all the time complimented about my accessories. I brought accessories from South America. My husband is Turkish, so we go to Turkey, we bring accessories from Turkey. I got endless of compliments about my accessories. But the number one thing that I realized is like one time when I was at a dance competition with my daughter, I had a scarf very similar to this. That's what I put it on so you can get an idea. That my mother sent me. So a lady approached me and she said, oh, I love your scarf. And I was very proud. I said, yes, it's beautiful. Look, it's very pretty. She said, where did you get it? I said, in South America. So you can see her face falling. What? I really want a scarf like that. So I said, sorry, it's from South America. So she said, could you sell it to me? So I turned to my husband and said, is this normal in Canada? He said, you know that I know, but... So imagine I was working for $5.25 an hour, and the lady offers me $80 for this scarf. So guess what I did? So that was the beginning of Princess Florence. I couldn't find these scarves anywhere. I am very stubborn. I'm not a complainer, as I said. So I went, I found fabric, I found yarn, and my 10-year-old daughter, who was going to dance, and she will stay around because I was working, see how these ladies were sewing all those customs, and she taught me how to sew the scarves. So I started to go around to little places like senior places, universities, with my little trunk, with fabrics and yarns, and people will bring me their jacket and they say, oh, I want that fabric with this yarn and that. I will go home and do nights and nights of sewing, and I will come with the next day with a custom-made scarf for $20. That Christmas, I sold over 200 scarves. I was day and night sewing. My husband couldn't see me anymore. I was like, the people will come to our house because they started to order 10 for Christmas gifts, 20 for the office thing. and my husband will receive them. He's an amazing cook, and he will serve them something to eat. They will wait for me, and I will get the scarves ready to go. So that was the first year. After that, it's an amazing journey. I cannot thank enough the Edmonton community. It's been so amazingly helpful. They were like, you should go here, you should go there. Imagine me new. They were, we'll have a party in my house. Party? I don't speak. Don't expect me to do a presentation. No. You just come, show your goods, and everybody will laugh. So I started to bring jewelry from South America. We went on a trip to Istanbul with my husband, and walking on the streets, which I love Istanbul, and the opportunity to go, the more welcoming community that I also experienced. I was on the street, I saw this beautiful jewelry, the earrings are from there, and I said to my husband, I need to talk to them and ask them if they will sell it to me. He's like, you're crazy. Guess what? Half an hour later, we were eating with them, we were having like a great relationship with them, that I work with them for many, many years now. They will be 10 years, and we import goods from Turkey as well. That's one of our main collections. So from there, we started to go to hospitals. From the senior places, people recommend us to go to the hospitals. Then we went from hospitals. Then at the hospitals, people invited us to conventions, conferences, you just name it. We started to grow. I started with a little room in my house. We moved to the basement. My husband built all the basement. And after 3 years, I took over the garage. For 3 years, we didn't have a garage, so we park outside, clean the snow and all that part. Lots of sacrifice. I never took no for an answer. I just tried everything. And that was also one of the beauties of being new and naive. You know, a lady came and she said, oh, you should come to Fort McMurray. And I'm like, yes! So the next thing I phoned my husband and said, we're going to Fort McMurray. He's like, are you crazy? 5 hours. So yes, we go to Fort McMurray until today. Another funny story was a lady phoned me and she's like, oh, we're having a day for our team, so would you come to our office? And for me, imagine, put yourself in my shoes. I was nobody. I started very small, and somebody is inviting me to their office. It's like, for me, it was an honor. So of course, I said, thank you so much for the opportunity. And she gives me the address, everything. I tell my husband, you need to take me to this office. He's like, do you know where you're going? I'm like, no. He's like, you're going to the parole office, to sell to inmates. I said, really? Okay, let's try it. And guess what? I sold like $2,000 to the inmates. Yes, and they were super happy. So, that is the beauty of being naive, being new, having the need. You go wherever. You have the need, you do whatever it takes, because you need to get out there. So that gave me the opportunity to go to so many places that it got a time that my husband said, listen, you can take over the room, the basement, the garage, but my kitchen, no. So now it's time to move out. So 4 years ago, we got a place that it was meant to be a warehouse. Today is a beautiful store. You're all invited. I have the business card there so you can see. What we did in the store, and this is the last year, and this is because of the demand of the people, we have a space upstairs that is for events. So we host events where we teach how to tie the scarves. We do all kind of fundraising events. We do kids soccer meetings there. Anybody who needs a space, we give the space for free. It's our way to give back to the community. And we also do tons of fundraising events with United Way, with the government of Alberta. We are in almost all the government buildings downtown. This grew so big that I needed to hire people. Well, first of all, my husband needed to quit his job. So he's my financial guy. And I hired first a lady who was unbelievable. She's still with us part-time because now she got a job at the government. And she got her family from the Philippines, her 5 kids. unbelievable story as well. You know, when she came, in the 5 years she was here without her kids, she saved money to buy the tickets, pay all the immigration fees, and buy a house. Imagine, in 5 years she did all that. And she didn't have furniture. So what I did is I sent an email to all my customer database and I said, hey, it's Mother's Day. Alice is bringing her family, but she doesn't have furniture. Guess what happened? In 48 hours, we have a fully furnished house with an interior designer putting everything together. It was like a magazine house. So when she came from the Philippines with all the family, all what they needed to do is go out and find jobs because they were ready, set to go. So that's what we are. We are about community. Our company has now 12 workers, and most of them are from all over. We give opportunities to all the immigrants like me that they cannot speak good English, that they cannot communicate, but they have a story behind. Because never forget, every person you meet has a story behind. We don't come blank. No, because we don't speak the language, we don't know nothing. We have our story. We were somebody somewhere. So I'm trying to give these people that opportunity. We have people from Spain, from Israel, we have people from Mexico, from Halifax. It's another country. So we are really blessed with beautiful people. I really invite you to come. Our store is not just a regular store, it's an experience. You will travel the world with us because every piece has a story. I still go and buy the pieces myself. The girls that I have working, they are like beyond amazing. They will play with you and treat you and help you and have you have a great day. People come and say, can I stay here and just volunteer to help you? And you know, it's amazing. It makes me feel so proud. When the people walk in the store, you will see another important thing. It's that my store is super colorful. I'm South American and we are about color. And one of the things I couldn't believe is that when I came to Canada, everything was black or gray or brown. And I couldn't get it because it's May 1st and everybody's about the flowers. Why don't you use colors on you? Why people don't? So when I started to go out to hospitals and I had my colorful purses, the ladies will come and laugh at me and say, who's gonna buy that? And now I laugh at them. I said, how many of those you have? They really collect my purses and they really enjoy. When they come to the store, you will see them like jumping and in excitement and trying to think who friend they will bring because it's really, really an experience. But the main thing that I want to leave you with is that the opportunities that are here, they are like, I wish I would be 8 of myself. There are millions of opportunities. There are like endless of things to do. It's an open community. The people is helpful. You are blessed with everything. You know, the sources, the customers, the people is willing to learn, the people is willing to talk. So any business you are, I encourage you to try to talk to one person every day and learn their story because that is my best university. I cannot ask for better. Thank you very much.